In today's video, I'm going to expose everything that you need to know to make Oriental lo-fi track that sounds something like this. All the sounds that were used for this beat come from a pack called Euphoria. You can go check out from the link below, and don't forget to use code DARKWINTER to get $10 off your purchase. Without wasting any time, let's hop on to FL Studio and let me show you how you can make an Oriental lo-fi track. So we are in FL Studio and let me show you the initial demo that I had made. First, I've used a plugin called Museo, and in that, I've used the tongue drum in it. Using this plugin, I wrote a melody that sounds something like this. It's like an arpeggiated pattern that I had used. Then comes the flute. For this, I've used Contact 7. In this, I've used Jade Ethnic Orchestra library. I haven't used any key switches for this. I've kept it relatively simple, and this is what the melody sounds like. So relatively simple. As for processing this, I just added an EQ to remove the lows and cut off the highs by just dampening it. To complement this, I have added another bell. It's basically in the root note of F sharp. It's like a normal kalimba bell, nothing crazy. Processing this, just an EQ again, a bit of reverb, nothing crazy, just kept the mix at 9.6%. And finally, stereo S2 from FL Studio to give it a bit of width. Then I've added some ambience from our pack called the Nova FX collection. Just a simple reverb. And to make it a bit mono, I've used the Ozone Imager 2 and kept it at 50%. Nothing serious. Once this idea was made, I sent this to my friend Nathan. He added some beautiful flutes, harmonies, and some acoustic guitar on it. Now I will show you the entire track with his addition to it. I'll break down each element that I've used in this track. So in the intro part, Nathan added this flute section, which sounds something like this. As for processing this, I have done quite a lot. First, we sent it to a reverb bus where I've added a convolution reverb using Fruity Convolver. A simple reverb, nothing crazy. Then we have Silk vocals from Waves. I don't know what it does, but it gives a bit of body to the entire flute, so I just kept it in. As we move on to the track, we have the drop section. Let me show you what the drop sounds like first. Let me show you the drums for the drop first. This is what it sounds like. If you want the drums that I've used in this drop, you can go check out our pack called Euphoria from the link below. Don't forget to use code DARKWINTER for $10 off your purchase. Then we have the bass, just simple root notes for this. Processing this was actually pretty simple. I just cut out the highs and just kept the lows. I've also sidechained the bass using a kick trigger that I do it in almost all my tracks. This is the kick trigger over here. So when the kick hits, the bass also ducks. So let me show you how it sounds. It's a very aggressive kick trigger, but I like it that way. Then we have the nylon low. It's like a nylon guitar. Without this, the you lose a lot of rhythm in the drop. So without it and now with it. The lows get a bit more groove and it sounds really cool. For processing this nitrile guitar, we have done quite a lot. First, I've cut out the lows as usual using an EQ. Then we have used some reverb with only 10% mix, a fruity balance for volume automations, and finally another EQ to just dim it around 5700 Hz. Then Nathan added this synth, which sounds something like this. It's basically the chords of the song, and he just taken the arpeggiator that I had made and put laid out the chords for it. And I have removed the lows and highs for this because there's a lot of mud in the highs as well as the lows. Finally, I used the koto from Contact using the East Asia library to write a melody in the second half of the drop. And this is what the melody sounds like. In this, I kept the ornaments on, which gives it a unique flavor. As for processing this, I have only just cut out the highs, and that's all. Then we have the nylon mid that only comes in the second half of the drop, which acts as a layer to the nylon low. So let me show you the difference. First, just the nylon low, and now with the nylon mid. This gives a drop a bit more fullness, and it sounds really cool. Then we have the break section of the track. I've just continued with the same handpan, nylon guitar, synth, and Nathan added a bit more flute over here, and this is what they sound like. First, we have the normal flute, and on top of that, the harmony. They sound really cool. As of processing these, I haven't done much, only the silk vocal from Waves and where I've just pushed the highs a lot. This is what the break sounds like now. In the second drop, I've just copied everything except for the melodies of the koto and the flutes and then layered it with another flute melody on top. So, first, let me show you the flute. To avoid the koto and flute clashing, I've added some reverb. When the koto plays, the flute is drenched in reverb so that it stays behind the koto. And when the koto does not play, the flute comes in front and it becomes the main element. For that, I've used the vintage verb. Let me show you how the koto and flute sound like together. The final part of the track are these effects and transitions. These also come from a pack called Euphoria. You can go check out from the link below. This is what they sound like on their own. Without these transitions, the track just feels off, like as if something is missing. So let me show you how it sounds like without it. And now when I add these transitions, you hear the difference. These transitions are relatively simple, nothing crazy. I just kept it very low in the track, and as of processing them, I don't think I've done anything. The final thing that I want to show you is the ending of the song on how we concluded it. Let me show you how it sounds like first. without this flute melody in the end, the song will feel relatively boring. It'll feel as if something is missing in the end, like there's no closure. To give that closure, we removed the drums and bass from the drop and just kept all other elements and added this flute solo at the end. As for mixing and mastering, I always mix my tracks on the go. I do not have a mixing session. For mastering, I can show you the master chain. Right now, the master chain is off. Let me switch them on and show you the difference between both. So this is with the master and this is what it sounds like. First, I've added an Ozone 5, my secret sauce, where I've added a reverb on my master chain. Yes, I do it. It's a simple reverb where we have the pre-delay of 53, early reflections at 0, decay at 2 seconds, and the wet mix at 9.4%. Then it goes through a soothe where I use the preset called the reduce harmonics on the master. Then this is like a general master soothe that I use across the entire song. Basically, it tames out the entire track and just keeps the resonant frequency is a bit low. Then we have the plugin called One by T-Rax. I think I had just bought this plugin while making this track. That's why I've used it. Over here, I haven't touched anything else apart from the push. Then this goes through an NEQME where I've given it a slight boost at 3k hertz and around 6.7, 6.9 hertz of around zero point 0.5 dB. You might think that zero point 0.5 dB is not a lot, but trust me, everything adds up, and when you hear the difference, it's insane. Then it goes through a Pro MB to tighten the bass and the highs. I have used the default preset that they've given and messed with the threshold. Then it finally goes through a Pro L2 where I've used the preset called the final few dB. It's a transparent limiter with the gain of 1.7. And as usual, I've kept the look ahead at 5 milliseconds. If you're interested in the sounds that I've used for making this beat, go check out Euphoria, a Sleepy Lo-Fi collection from the link below. And don't forget to use code DARKWINTER for $10 off your purchase. A huge shout out to Nathan for helping me with this track. Plus, he's a talented music producer. So don't forget to check out his socials from the link below. I'm Dark Winter, and I'll see you in the next one.